Hello everybody, my name is Patrick Clyde. I'm the service manager at Kunes Freedom RV, and today I'm going to show you how to de-winterize your camper. For today we're going to be using a Jayco J-Flight 184BS, but that's okay if you don't have that model because de-winterizing has the same concepts in other models, just different variations, which I'll show you throughout this video. Okay, for our first step, I like to fill the water tank, the freshwater tank, about 1/3 full, maybe a little bit over. I want to get about 8 to 9 gallons of water in there. You can de-winterize by using your city water connection and rinsing out that way. I like to use the water tank because I can then pressurize my system with my water pump and also check for leaks when I'm done. So this is a good route to go just to ensure that your upcoming season isn't going to go without a hitch. Okay, now that we got our water tank about 1/3 full, we want to locate our water pump. Now, they're in different locations in every unit, so the easiest way to find it is to turn the water pump on for a few, maybe like 10-15 seconds to locate the area of where it is. Once you locate the area, you can hear it. You'll then have to take off an access panel in most cases, but as long as you know the area, it should be easy to find. Now that we found ours here, I need to now change the valve. This tube right here is what we use to winterize. You'll see that there's no end to it. It's an open line. We are no longer needing to use the winterized tube. We need to take from the tank, which is right here. So we're going to turn this valve right here so it cuts it off from here and is flowing this way through the tank and into our water pump. Now we can start our de-winterize process. Now that we have our valve in the correct position for the winterizing valve on the water pump, we want to just turn the water pump on and start letting it pressurize. All right, now that the pump is pressurized, and you can tell by the pump shutting off, you no longer hear that noise. That's a good sign. That means I'm holding pressure in my system, and likeliness I do not have any leaks. However, we're not done fully testing that. So now that it's pressurized, I want to start draining all the antifreeze out of the system. I always start with the low point drains first. You can find those usually under the unit, usually a red and blue connection. There could be a cap cover, a valve. A lot of systems are different, but they always do have a low point drain underneath here. So I'll go ahead and open that up. There it goes, starts clearing up right now, and that's just water. So we're good there on the cold. Now we'll do the hot. A lot of pink coming out. It's kind of foamy. Let that go until it gets completely clear. And that's all water. So we'll shut those off, and now the low points are completely rinsed out. Okay, now that we've got our low points drained, we come inside and we go to anything that protrudes water. So if we have a kitchen faucet, we have a bathroom faucet, we have an outside shower, as well as do not forget the toilet. The toilet is one that's missed a lot. Make sure that you rinse that one out. That also has antifreeze in it. We're basically just going to turn the faucet off, get all the pink out until we see clear. Still a little foamy. And now that's clear. Then I'll switch it over to the hot side. Make sure you get all the pink out of the system. And now that's clear. Now just continue on to all the other items that protrude water until you see clear water after that, and then we'll continue on. All right, now that we got all the antifreeze rinsed out of the lines, we need to locate the valves on the back of our water heater. The easiest way to find this is go outside, look for your water heater, and then wherever it is, go to the inside of the unit and locate the back side of wherever that location is. They're always found back here. Some systems may have, on fifth wheels, will have different valves on the side of the unit where you insert the water that you change it. Those are a little different, but these ones and most of the travel trailers you'll see right back here. So now that we found the location of the valves right here, make sure that we turn the water pump off before we start because I have the cap off on this water heater. I don't want to shoot water out onto the ground. So I turn the water pump off, and I'm now going to turn both of these valves so that way it is no longer going through this bypass tube and now coming up and through into our water heater. All right, now that I got the water heater back in camping mode, I'm now going to come out here and I'm going to put the cap for the water heater down right on here. You'll always find the drain cap down below. You could have an anti-rod, a long stick that's silver all the way around. That's just a different type of water heater, but the same concept. That is your drain plug. I'm going to put the cap back on so that way I can fill up the water tank and pressurize the system to make sure that there's no leaks with my water tank on the water heater. All right, now that we got the cap back on the water heater, I'm going to turn the water pump back on and let it fill up my water heater tank until it completely pressurizes. Now this is the point, now that everything's full, you want to listen for the water pump. After it pressurizes and shuts off, it's good to sit around for about 5-10 minutes to make sure there's no surges on your water pump. If you hear a surge, there's a high probability that you have a leak in your system, so you need to track that down. All right, now that we've pressurized our system and we know there's no leaks in our lines or our water tank, go ahead and turn your water pump back off. And then I always like to drain all the water out of my system. I don't like to leave water in there in the fresh tank, in the water heater tank, or any of the lines, because if it sits for a long time, it can get stagnant. So we're gonna go ahead and drain everything out. Remember, when you're draining your water heater, always open this pop-off valve first, so that way all the pressure doesn't shoot out at you when you take the lower drain plug off. So I'm gonna go ahead and open that off. The pressure is now relieved, and we'll unscrew this, and it should drain right out. And we'll just let that drain. All right, thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful to you. A lot of times it's a good idea to sanitize your system when you're done. If you'd like to do that, there's sanitized systems that we sell in our Kunes stores. If you have any questions about this, you can always call any of our Kunes locations. We'll be able to assist you.